So there we are on air. So this is Blades in the Dark. This is session 4 of my version of running Blades in the Dark, which may vary from yours. And we're playing in Iruvia, material that is from the special edition book. That is a sort of Persian tinged city in another country called Iruvia. And this is the city of Uduasha. And it is a city that's built on tiers. It's formerly a massive crater, and there are sort of different levels that go down and stairs and steps, and in the center there's a great big fire that illuminates the city. Anyway, this game is part of the Gauntlet Hangouts. We do lots of games each month. You can find out about that at gauntlet-rpg.com. You can also check out my blog at ageofravens.blogspot.com if you're interested. I've got some stuff up there. We're going to do quick character introductions. We've got 3 returning characters and 1 new character that we're going to fold in. You may hear me referencing some things on screen. We are playing with Roll20. So if I remember to, I'll try and screen share when we go there. I will forget more often than I will remember. Just be aware of that. So without further ado, Sherry, tell us about your character Esta. Give us the 1-minute pitch on Esta, who she is and what she does.
Oh, that's a fine question. Esta is a vizier, which means that she is a watcher and a planner. Essentially, she was widowed not too long ago. Her husband had been a magic user. She picked up a few of his tricks. She has, she misses him, and her life is sort of exploded out from that situation. And so she sort of attached herself to Irfan, who is a neighborhood personality that people know and like greatly. And between them, they've come up with this smuggling ring. And there are other personalities involved in this with their purposes and agendas as well. So she essentially knows a little bit of magic, and she tries to come up with ways to make this thing work. She's a problem solver, and but she depends on Irfan for figuring out what actually is to be smuggled and how that's to be handled. She just comes up with how to get it done whenever she can.
That seems like a good assessment of things. And then let's talk with Farouk, Farouk being the cover name for our character there. Please tell us about Farouk.
Farouk is actually a scion of House Ankuset. He is a mad scientist, to say the least. So he has that whole thing going on. And that's the basics. He made exploding walnuts last time, so that...
Yes. Exploding walnuts, and got pulled in a couple of directions regarding your family there as well. And then we have Irfan. Rich, can you tell us about Irfan?
I would be glad to tell you Irfan is Irfan Mahmoudi. He's a Rafiq. He is a peeable person. He has the ability to use the weaknesses that he sees in others to help out with scores. And he's quite good at consorting with others and swaying them to the way of our little gang, as it were, the troublemakers that Esta is the boss of, because she's the boss.
And this is a group of smugglers. The name that is unofficially given is Esta's Troublemakers. Esta disputes that. She does not believe that is the name. Others do and have made that apparent. They have a reputation as being honorable, but they also developed a reputation of kind of being hard asses last time when they pushed on some payment things. Last time they did a smuggling operation. They smuggled an object that they had to procure out, a demonic dictation device. And the group itself has as their layer a abandoned clock tower that they've set up in that is in the kind of it's in the area that's close to the docks district, which is actually the wealthy area, but they're in the section of that where all of the servants and maids and sort of the lower class section of that area. But it's abandoned. It's pretty well concealed. They have access walk downs to get to the docks and to their camouflage boat that they have that they use for heading out onto the river to do their smuggling. So with that all in mind, why don't we have Simon, why don't you tell us about your character?
All right. So my character Taji Saha is a Janissary. I picture him maybe having worked with other crime gangs in the past, just being a protector and a bodyguard, essentially.
And what did you take for your abilities and for your special ability?
I took to survey what's already on the Janissary.
Okay.
I've upgraded finesse and skirmish and sway.
Okay. And did you choose a special ability?
I did. It's not there anymore. It was security. Special armor to resist consequence of surprise and mental harm.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Do you suppose, let me ask you what you think, do you suppose you're relatively new to the gang, or have you just been in the background? What do you suppose your relationship is to the gang?
I think I might have in the background. If there are other people in the gang except I probably was assigned to security for other member doing their own thing.
Of the three gang members that are here that are named, which of them do you think you go, okay, that's the person who's really in charge? Who do you believe that is?
I'll say Esta. She says she's in charge, and I will agree with this until I actually play. It seems
fair enough. Oh no, I think that's great. What is Taji? What does he look like? It is a he.
Yes, but he's always masked. He doesn't show his face.
Oh yeah, I see the picture you've got. Oh, that's a wonderful picture. That's very cool. I should probably screen share that. I'm saying that the people at home are going, okay. Whatever, lol. There's a very cool picture. So, and
I'm sorry, I have a question. So you never take it off? Like even when you're in the clock tower, even when you go to sleep, even when I sneak into your room?
I will always have my mask on when I'm duty. And so in the clock water, I will consider that also on duty. When I sleep, no, I will take it off.
Okay. Do you think anyone here has seen you without your mask on?
From what he says, yes, I will assume so. and it was probably a very boring looking face. Like nothing was really hidden. Nothing was really special about me having my face. It's more of a look that I get, so something more intimidating that I do than really trying to hide something.
Is Taji short, tall? How do you imagine the build for him?
I'm going to say tall.
Okay.
Not too bulky.
And as a bodyguard, do you imagine that most of what you do is follow along when they do the basic jobs? Are you kind of the quiet man in the background then, or
that's what I try to do?
Okay, all right. That seems fair. I want to start out today rolling into the entanglements from last time, and getting that on the table. And from there, I want to talk with everybody about, we've got at least one thing that's sort of hanging over from last time, and then we might talk about what other things people want to do in terms of generating jobs or finding things out or setting things up. But let me ask you three who are returning, because you were the three that were wrapped up in this. The Ulim, which are the guards, they carry those hawks. They are the watch for the city. Not the scary watch, they're the sort of more public face investigator watch. They come around and they're going to pick up somebody for questioning. Either one of you or an associate of yours. So who do you think is the most vulnerable person? Who's a person who they would grab up? A friend or a contact or yourselves? Who do you think that would be? Sherry, what do you think? Do you have somebody that you would put forward? Sell out? I mean, go on.
It's the thing is that my explorer friend is just back in town. He would know nothing. So I wouldn't think they would go after him.
Okay.
Me, maybe, but I'm not sure.
Okay. What do you have any ideas there, Farouk? Maria?
Yeah, I could be vulnerable. I don't know if we don't have the madman pretty much involved yet, so.
Okay. So you both have put yourself out on the table. That's an interesting choice. What do you think, with those two things in mind, what do you think, Irfan?
I think it's wonderful that my friends would put themselves at risk, but obviously Nusha the courtesan would be much more available than I, because she's a courtesan.
Okay. Well, we've got three people out there, so I'm going to do a fortune roll to see who they pick up, since there is a dispute amongst you as to.
Wait, I was supposed to agree? I would have agreed.
Oh, you're all good.
Okay.
So 3. So where are you, Farouk, when they come to pick you up, when they come to talk to you?
I think I'm in the university.
Mm-hmm.
So working on stuff.
So it's pretty public when they come and do that. And they don't pay that much heed to the discipline here and the fact that you are a member in good standing at the school. And the Yalim come and they say to you, what is your real name? Is it Tamura?
Tamuz.
Tamuz. They will call you in, Tamuz, and they will say, we have older guardsman, has his hawk on his shoulder, says, we have some questions for you. We would like for you to come willingly, but we have other options.
Very well, I will come.
Okay.
I don't have the coin, basically.
That's right. So they're going to.
I have one coin. I don't have two.
Right. They're going to sit you down, and they essentially try to get a sense of your relationship, like what's going on. They know you're a scientist. They heard some rumors. There's some stuff about explosives. There's a peanut-based thing. They're just trying to put all of this together, and they're pushing on you. So you get to make a fortune roll then. Just a straight D6, and we see what kind of heat you generate.
All right. Oh, no. I generate 2 heat.
Yeah, what is it that you say that kind of generate some heat for your crew.
It's not peanuts, it's walnuts.
Ah, all right. And they press that line of questioning. How do you suppose this ends? Do they end with them getting stuck? Do they cut you loose to follow you later? Does your family intervene? What do you think?
I think they get stuck.
They don't have much. You're small time.
Yeah.
You also were hitting a person who's a known loan shark. They're more worried about the noisiness of things. And that will probably be what this captain will leave you with. Will say, we are mostly worried about disruption to the public order. You can understand and appreciate why that would be of paramount concern to us.
Yes.
Good, good. Then we have an understanding. You may go.
All right.
And they let you go.
And we are back at how much heat now?
Back at 3 heat.
Yay, it wasn't that much. We started, that entanglement was at a higher heat, honestly. So it's not a super big deal.
All right. So let me check in and sort of see what everyone is doing. If anything, perhaps we can talk about the kind of job you want or things. Sherry, you had something that you had started to kind of bite onto and chew on. Did you want to do something with that? And do you want to explain what that would be? You are muted.
I am the worst online player, and I apologize to everyone. So I had been working on a ritual. Other thing that I was working on is my good friend and my husband's friend, my late husband's friend, Tamador Ferran. He was an explorer. He had a number of the dig items that he had found on his most recent expedition go missing from essentially the train car where things were loaded up. And he would very much like to regain those. So I have been looking into those as well. So there are 2 different things that we could discuss, or perhaps both. I care not which.
Would you prefer to do some further checking in, or would you prefer to start us out in a scene with the group?
Oh, I think the group, basically, I was just looking to see if I could find any of those goods in a pawn shop or being fenced by someone. I had not located any of them. So let's just start out in the group since there's a great deal of information found yet.
Okay. So we again are at the sort of meeting hall that is in the tower with the beautiful pillows laid out and the lovely dates and other foods, tea there. Do you suppose, let me ask you this, Farouk, that the rest of them know that you got picked up?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're coming in sort of shortly after that. The group is meeting. There are a few other people in the room, your other gang members, including the Rakasha and the Mirage, Rakshasha and Mirage, and some other people there. And you're discussing what you want to do. And this can be going out and gathering information, trying to find things, or you can point to a particular kind of job on the crew sheet that you want, or a particular kind of thing you want to do. So this is probably the first time that we have Taji kind of, you try to bring him in to get his voice more in the gang. So Irfan, how do you set the room when you go to these meetings? You're good at arranging things. What is your tactic?
We're meeting in the clock tower, right? In
Yes.
the meeting room. What's amazing about the clock tower meeting room is that it is circular. right? But I always sit in the corner. I make sure that all the pillows are nice and fluffy. Have a little bit of some tabbouleh and a bit of hummus and some baba ganoush all out with some chips. I've got a lot of coin, so it turns out that my courtesan wasn't picked up, so I'm able to spend that coin on things that we like.
Yes. So probably a better food there. Lucky is slowly, the dog mascot is slowly inching his way over to the table. Every time you look, he's a couple inches closer to the food. Then he's back a couple inches. And then he sits and he just waits. He's a patient dog. He knows eventually you guys will throw him a bone. So the last particular job went pretty well. You garnered some rep. You made some contacts. What is the group thinking about now? Anything on the table?
I don't know. What would help us establish? Give us a little rundown of what some of our options are, Lowell.
So you could say you want to do a job for coin and want to find a target, and we could certainly hit the streets on that kind of thing. Or we could follow up on your little case, and I could, perhaps throw some other things if people also want to do something in the once around, friends and so on, talking to them. Another option is to look at the crew sheet, and you'll see on the crew sheet you've got some things that you can do, like amassing a fleet, getting a luxury fence, or acquiring more turf. And if you wanted to do one of those kinds of jobs, then we'd figure out how to frame that. Yes.
I would suggest going for the turf that's next to the cover operation, so we can gather even less heat per score, or start going in that direction. I mean.
Okay.
But that's my suggestion.
Okay. Now, Taji, do you have any strong feelings about a kind of thing you'd like to be doing here?
Not really. Yeah, Taji doesn't voice his opinion. If actually no, he's like just febrile that for once he is able to sit in this place, but he's keeping to himself for now.
Let me ask you a really important question then.
Yep.
Can you eat through the mask?
On the picture, it doesn't seem so.
Okay.
So I was no.
So there is that thing where you're sitting there with the mask, and Irfan has laid out, he spent some of his coin to lay out a really luxe meal for everybody. And there is probably that sound of your stomach growling there a couple of times, I assume.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the pathos.
What does your fawn think? Go and look around, check things out.
Yes, of course I can. I can talk to. I was actually looking through my personal notes, trying to find the name of the guy that we'd spoken with before.
Bellet?
Do what?
Bellet, the official.
Well, there's Bellet, and then there's also Ershade, I think, who pointed us to Rabati, so that's another person that we used for contacts too.
Mm-hmm.
So I can do either of those, but so Esta doesn't want to pursue her own stuff with the power of the whole crew. You don't want to pursue?
It seems selfish.
We are your troublemakers. You should take advantage of our goodwill.
So, I don't think that you are troublemakers. You are good and kind people that I can depend on. And I don't want to impose on my friends.
Is there a profit? Possibility of some coin we can gather from this?
We know that some things have gone missing, so someone's been stealing things. I don't know why you couldn't steal from the thief.
Then there is no imposition. This is a job.
All right.
And for this job, since you created it, you are our boss.
This is unfair.
I agree.
And she sort of stops and says, "Is that okay, Farouk? I mean, we'll be delving into the seamy underside of the city."
I don't mind.
Okay. All right. You're not going to get in trouble with your family, are you?
I don't think so.
All right. So, disappeared from a rail car, which tells us that that's probably the place to start since there's a lot of security there on the rail yard. This is what I know. Beyond that, not much.
So it does seem like we need to do maybe a once round of gather info for you and maybe another person, or and other people can do contacts or whatever to kind of maybe get a little more information to set this up.
Yes.
Not planning, but figuring out the shape of this.
Yes. And before we disperse, I will pack together in a little box a meal for Tashi. Because it's been exquisitely difficult to watch him not be able to eat anything.
That seems awesome.
Okay.
And then plates that are set there, Lucky will go and clean up afterwards. Okay, so let me remind you what the facts are that you have.
Okay.
And then let me ask you what kind of gather info you want to do. So you know that your friend has gone out on some archaeological expeditions, in part sponsored by the school. He went out there onto the dig. Things were recovered, but when he got back to the city to check on things and to kind of do some cataloging of that, pieces had gone missing somewhere along the line. A lot of these objects were shipped back by train back to the city and then unloaded and brought to the school. So that's what you know about that. And you tried to look at some fences to find out information, but you weren't particularly successful on that score. Okay. So what's your new approach then? What is it that you want to do? Who do you want to talk to? What is it you want to learn?
I think that one of the things that would probably be the easiest thing to do, since I still have some ties to the university through my late husband, is to find out if other people have suffered losses from their trips or expeditions out there, essentially looking to see if there's any pattern for the school-based expeditions of loss of some of the items, essentially particularly purely for monetary purpose, not things of great significance or mysticism or anything like that.
All right, all right. So what do you think that is? Is that a consort study? Okay.
Study. I mean, let's face it, if someone's gone and lost half of their haul, they're going to put in a bunch of paperwork and complain about how they're being set back by this set of instances in their researches.
All right. So it seems to me that this is risky with standard effect, and essentially the risk is pretty much that word will get back to the people who are doing this. Does that seem fair?
Absolutely not, but of course that's how this game works.
All right. Let's have you make that study roll. Do you want to spend any stress right away so you can burn yourself out of it?
I already have a chunk of it because I did not succeed so well on my stress relief last time. So sure, I will not spend stress, and we'll see what happens.
Okay.
Okay. See here, risky, submit. Standard, submit. Bonus dice, 0.
Okay. So that's a 5. So tell me, you're not going to get a whole lot of questions. What's your main question? What's the main thing that you want to know? What's the main actionable piece of info you want?
Is there a pattern? And if so, what is the pattern?
So it looks like little things have been vanishing from expeditions from the school for a while. The usual kind of thing that could simply be put down to record keeping and so on. But this last one, maybe somebody got greedy, or maybe it's just that your friend is kind of a stickler. I'm not sure which that is.
Stickler.
But
That's what I love about him.
Yeah, that he went back to check on all this in a more diligent way than most people do. So yeah, there definitely is a pattern of these expeditions losing small pieces. Certainly an attempt being made to keep it undercover.
All right.
Okay. What about you? So, Farouk, do you want to look into that, or do you want to set something else up? What would you like to do?
I'll look into that.
Okay. And how do you want to do that?
Well, I'm also tied to the university, assuming it's the same one, so I can just go around and look for, and make, and if there's a pattern, do I know like who is in charge of the expeditions, or any, not in charge, but like who are the people that are like in all those expeditions that where the pieces are missing?
Yeah, you can probably start by getting those names and having that as a thing to work from, and you want to try and kind of run down and see who might be involved with that. Okay.
And I'm gonna use study as well.
Okay.
And I will mark stress because I don't have any so far.
Good.
And that's a 6.
That's a 6. So there is a guy here at the school, the Vasu school, which is what it is called, named Cardu. And he is a very useful man. He handles logistics. He handles scheduling. He handles recruitment of workers. He has kind of slowly worked his way up in amongst the department that deals with these kind of relics and expeditions and so on. And he has made himself indispensable and in the background. And if there is this thing happening, which you're certain there is, he has to either be the person behind it or be aware of it.
All right.
Does that seem like fair info? Okay. So Irfan, with this name in hand and some other bits, what do you want to do?
I think I will go ahead and work the neighborhood, look around, maybe drop a bit of coin if needed, see if I can get information on this particular person.
Okay. I think, again, we're risky standard effect.
Sure. And I think I'm trying to consort. Yeah.
Yeah. Talking with people, finding out, working the neighborhoods.
Risky standard, you say?
Yeah.
No bonus dice unless I spend a coin, or is that, I can't remember how that goes.
Coin you can spend afterwards to raise your effect.
Okie doke.
I think.
But you can spend stress to give yourself another die.
Yes.
Or you can make a deal with make a bargain with the devil.
Yeah, no. don't like the devil. I will go ahead and take some stress. I think getting some information impressing my boss is important.
Okay. Got to impress Esta with your skills.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
That is pretty wonderful.
Critical.
You've impressed her.
All right.
Yeah, 2 6s and a 5.
All right. So I'm going to let you ask me a bunch of questions about this Cardew. So what is the first thing you want to know about Cardew? I know. It's an investigation question.
What's Cardew's name? I don't know. Let me just roll dice. You tell me I do good. Okay, pat me on the head.
You ask
where
question.
can Cardew
You have
be
question
found?
moves in PBTA. So give me a question from a question move.
Fine, hold on. Let me open up a better game. I mean, a
It's
different.
really in control here. It's
That was a joke. That was not actually a slip of the tongue. I did that on purpose. Just because I do a podcast on PBTA games, doesn't it? No, where could I find Cardew?
So
Go directly to the heart of it.
okay. So Cardew works on the school grounds, and he has a little apartment, like a little like janitorial style grotto place on campus, because he is very much a laborer type. But he also has another place many blocks away, a larger apartment that he clearly also keeps that seems above his station. What else do you want to know?
What's my best way in out of the
I was
apartment?
looking right at that. Yeah, what's the best way? What's our best way in or out of the nice apartment?
Well, he obviously has to work quite a bit on school grounds. So the easiest way is simply to go to the doorman, the Bawab, and talk that person up and have them let you in. That is a common thing. Bring a gift and talk your way into the building.
The gift and gab. Okay.
Mm-hmm. I'll give you one more question because that'll make you angry.
Not angry. I'm in peace now. Sure. I would ask her, where could Cardew? How could Cardew afford such an expensive place? How does he pay for it? Those are two different questions, but like you answer whichever of those I get access to.
Well, I will say that people around here kind of don't know him as Cardew, but they suspect that he might have made it from gambling because they know that he goes and gambles at one of the houses of such games in the city.
What do they know him by, if not Cardew?
They know him as Ducks.
Like the animal, plural?
That's how it's pronounced. Yeah.
Okay, but it's spelled different.
So they believe he's some sort of highly skilled gambler. Taji, with these kinds of operations and looking into things and finding out about stuff, what would be your typical thing?
The few ideas I had were just answered.
Okay.
So probably now I'm going to tail Cardew to his gambling place to see what actually happens here. I happen to be a gambler also of sorts. So.
Oh, excellent. You just kind of want to check that out, get a sense of it. Do you want to push hard? Is there anything you want to roll for that, or do you just want to get basic info?
No, I think while being there, will gamble. Probably try to size him up as a person. Maybe try to gamble a little bit against him. But
Okay.
it's yeah. I'll do
All
that.
right. So yeah, he has some skill. He's clearly sharp. He doesn't play dice because dice are too random. He does play cards, and he does certainly bet quite loosely when he's here. This is certainly his passion, is this kind of gambling and taking those risks. If you want, I'll let you make a finesse roll if you want to kind of get in there and maybe see if you can take him for some money.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. So I'm going to say risky and standard.
Risky, standard. No bonus dice. No, don't need it. 6.
Oh, look at that. So what is your playing style when you play cards? I
Muted.
think you're muted.
We can't hear you.
Can't hear you, Simon.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
That's okay.
So usually I don't bet on I don't play cards. I bet on fights or duels actually. So I'm working, seeing how the finesse and the intricacy of how people fight in like more like flashy duels. I studied how to move my hands, and that's how I play with the cards to try to like slip cards behind one or another or something like that.
So you come off as a pretty professional person, fast hands, and certainly Cardew will once he's down a few hands, he'll kind of stop and look. Do you have your mask on at this point?
Unfortunately, no. I will have removed it, not to be too conspicuous.
Yeah. This is you. I do not know, and here you've taken me. You come into my table and take me for example. What is your name?
My name is Taji.
Taji. What is it that you do, Taji?
No, not very much. I'm a worker.
Worker with very fast hands for someone who works.
This is just how I am.
Well, I will keep your face in mind. And he will hand over, kind of push the stack over to you, and you'll end up with a coin from him because he bets pretty loosely. But you'll notice that when he decides to stop, unlike some gamblers, he goes boom and he's done for the day and pushes the coin, and he clearly has some self-control there, and will nod and walk away. So you've got kind of a measure of him.
Perfect.
So let's bring this on back to the group with that information in hand. Do you think you have enough that we could frame a score?
Yeah, because we're just supposed to do it, right?
Yeah. So what is your end goal here? What is it you want to do? Do you want to get stuff from him? Do you want to take control of his operation? Do you want to sell him out? What do you think you want to be doing?
That's interesting. What do you think, Irfan, Farouk, Taji?
So I think that we should break in, right? We want to do a bit of prowling, isn't that one? Yeah, prowl our way up to it.
Okay.
To consort with the guard too.
What is your? But I guess what's your end game? What is it you want from this person?
I think we want to figure out where the stuff is rather than the we can deal with Cardu. I think that's a concern, but that's not the concern that Esta. As far as I know, Esta is not concerned about what Cardu does. She's more concerned about the goods. Am I mistaken?
Well, the goods are certainly important since that will make my friend happy, but also Cardu will continue to do this.
That's true.
So, which would usually not bother me all that much, except that when it's my friend.
Yeah, that's true. So I'll leave it up to Esta to decide what she wants.
But there is an advantage that we could gain from this. I mean, essentially, we know what he's up to. So we could ask for a cut of it and to get our stuff back, and we won't say anything.
So your goal is to take control of Cardu's operation in some form and get your stuff back?
That is a much better idea. I like that. Thanks, Esta. So glad you're running this.
Why do I always feel like I'm losing ground in this?
All right. So how do you want to do that? Is this smash and grab? Is it deception? Is it about you sneaking in to get things? Is it negotiating and persuading, a social? Or is it, stealing the stuff out from under him and transporting it back to your thing and then putting the pressure on him?
Yeah, I almost think that we want to be sure that we can prove, that we can find the pieces and all those things, and then go, here's all the things you took. Here's the proof, essentially all the things that are expected. Now, we would like these back, and we could turn you in as part of the explanation, or we could come to an agreement, something like that. Those skills would be it's kind of a little bit of both, isn't it? A little B&E and a little bit of negotiation.
Well, I think you start with the B&E, so let's start there.
All right.
Let's start with that idea of as the sort of starting point is this apartment, right? That's the point. So we can frame in the job there, and then we'll do flashbacks for setups and things you guys have prepared and kind of roll out from there. Does that seem cool?
I have the one question, though. Do any of us have B&E skills? These are not my strong points. And Banafshe is not here.
And I am good at wrecking things, and I got finesse, but that's about it.
This is not my skill set. I have a little bit of finesse.
So that was my worry. I do have one thing, and that was my new ritual, which I decided would be called Semblance of Shadow. Essentially, for an hour, I can make us blend with shadows. They have some oddness to them. As we get closer to the central pillar fire, the shadows get darker. As we get further away, they fade. They become a little bit lighter. So when you're not in that sort of middle area, you might show up a little.
All right.
That was my thing. So could use that.
Seems like the arcane method.
Yes, an arcane method.
That is an arcane method. We have the method. You guys are going to use that to get in to kind of start this out. We're going to go and play this out then from the engagement roll. And don't forget, we can flash back to things you've set up when something arises. And we'll get rolling with that. So Is this operation particularly bold or daring? What do you think? Feel pretty mundane?
It does, because the guy is like, low key. People think he's a gambler, but he's got this little side project going. He doesn't have any big thugs or anything. He's just kind of clever. So
Okay.
So he thought.
So let's say that's a wash on that. I think this does, because Taji kind of checked in on the gambling thing, and you know where his secret location is. I say that's going to expose a vulnerability, so that gives you a second die for the engagement roll.
Okay.
Nice.
Do any of your friends or contacts can provide aid or insight?
Yes. My friend knows exactly all the things that were taken and has like exhaustive notes and drawings.
All right. Whoa.
That's the kid.
And I will say that we'll save that for a complication later on. So let's say 3 dice.
Okay.
Who wants to roll the engagement roll for these 3 dice?
Yes, they should.
Oops.
Okay. So I just do 3d6?
Yep.
Okay.
There's a roll fortune button under the friends, but you don't need to use that.
Okay, I'm just gonna find the roll 20 thing. I just have to close 9,000 windows and then open a different one. I got a 6, a 5, and a 5.
Oh. So you have made your way in, and you have gotten past any of the kinds of security, and you have reached his apartment there. And right now you're in, and you're tossing the place. Does that seem like that's a good starting point?
Mm-hmm.
By the way, I am going in at normal because I was like, I'm under the impression that the Estes shadows will help alleviate the whole light load, or seeming like we are on a mission. So I will go at normal load for this mission.
That seems fair to me. So you have arrived there, and what is it that you want to find out here? Is the location of his stash?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. So kind of checking around in here, he is a well-appointed place, and it looks like it's decently laid out. You can find some papers and notes that suggest that he has a person that he contracts with to move the goods, assess them, and protect them. And it is a infernalist, actually a user of magic. It's not listed as an infernalist, but you certainly know him as an infernalist, Esta, a Bilal Mott.
May he rot in all the hells.
And so it does suggest to you that Cardew does have a little more serious set of connections. But you have a location.
All right. So, and I guess suppose that I know where Mott has at least some of his setup. Yes.
Yes, we can cut forward to that if you want.
All right. Sure. Yikes. Okay.
So we will cut over to the docks with the information that you've gotten easily from Cardew's apartment. And there is a small warehouse. There are some guards there. And you know that this is Bilal Mott's holding. This is an infernalist. He oversees this. He's clearly watching the stuff. You have the expectation that probably he's getting paid. Maybe a few things that fall off from the expeditions are things that Belial wants for his magics. So that's what's going on. So with that in mind, let's find out how you want to approach this place, how you want to deal with the situation here.
As always, I can create a distraction.
Okay, that sounds good. I think that first we have to figure out where we want a distraction from. So I have both study and attune to look at this place and kind of get a sense of where the vulnerabilities might be, or at least what the greatest dangers are.
So let's have you do that to kind of check for the magical and that kind of thing. And then maybe I'm going to turn to Taji, who kind of knows the security stuff. Does that seem reasonable?
That sounds perfect.
Okay. So let's have you kind of have to move around the area, checking out with magic. So let's have you roll attune.
Okay, and now spend the stress on that. And I'm rolling risky.
Yes.
And standard.
Yes.
1. And let's see here. Okay. Let's see what happens. I got a 1, 5, and a 4.
So you'll be able to get the sense of the wardings here. But I think there's a consequence of you pushing with your abilities, looking around, that you're going to wake something up.
I would like to resist that.
Okay. Go ahead and make a resistance roll. That sounds like insight to me.
Yeah. Let's give it a try.
Oh my god, Esther, you're so close to drama.
Oh, okay. 1.
It only costs you 1. That's good.
Yes.
That is good. Not like me, which oh my god, no.
All right. So when you get a sense of this thing, how is it? What happens? What does that look like, or what does that feel like there?
Okay, so I can start to feel the essentially the awareness of some of the embedded demons, and essentially I just quiet them down with the flames. I just sort of channel them that and let them eat that last little bit of light that's coming through the windows.
Yeah, it's a demon that's clearly stretched out around the building. It's one of those it's in its formless state. It's a demon of fire, so you are able to kind of feed that energy into it, and you'll get a sense of this is the way that we can get in past the wardings. There are some things that we can do to get past, so you'll be able to discover that. Now, let's turn to Taji. How would you approach? There's a building with guards. What's your usual take on that? Are you going to study the situation or what?
I will probably survey the area, check where the guards are posted, their routes, if there's any shift change.
Okay, let's have you make that roll then. This is risky standard.
2 and 1.
Oof.
So, you 3, 4 are moving around the area. Taji, what goes wrong?
Probably being spotted by a group of guards.
Okay, you thought you got the route calculation right, and you're moving up to do that final check, and you are definitely in a place you're not supposed to be. When these guards pop around the corner, there are 2 of them. They're armed, and they are, they spot you. You've got the mask on. You look threatening, and it looks like they are going to engage you like right away. And essentially, that's going to be their goal. Is they're going to try and grab you, and that's going to be a consequence here. Is that they're going to try and bring you to the ground and call for help. Would you like to resist that?
Yes, of course. Can I dodge into a hiding place with Parwis?
Oh, I like that. Yeah, that seems cool.
So I got 2 and 2, so 4 stress.
4 stress. You pop
It's
out of there,
nerve-wracking.
and you get to the darkness, but it was a super parkour jump and move along and get out of there. And the guards are kind of alerted now. They are, they're doing that thing where they had a little exclamation point above their head. If this were Thief, okay. So let me come to you, Irfan. What do you think you want to be doing here? Are you working on something else? Have you set something up beforehand on this?
Yeah, I like the idea of setting up something beforehand. He was in, just so I'm clear, they're guards, so we're in like some kind of perimeter, like a courtyard type thing, or
yeah, there's a small warehouse. There's some alleys around and back that people shouldn't be in because there's the loading areas for this warehouse, and he kind of got spotted back there.
Oh, cool. So then I think I had set up ahead of time, since I'm not a super stealthy person and we didn't want to use magic again, that I'm just outside but keeping an eye, and when that happens I'll walk in like I'm supposed to be here, but wait, I'm lost, and try to draw the guards' attention.
Okay. So you are kind of trying to provide an additional distraction there. You were waiting in place to do that. Okay, that seems simple. Doesn't cost any stress for you to do that. But you're going to have to talk and kind of convince these guys with sway, because otherwise they're going to probably wrap you up and try and figure out what you're doing here.
Oh, sure. I will attempt to sway them then. Yes, friends, I'm looking for the bazaar. It seems I've taken the wrong turn. I will sway. Is this risky or desperate?
I think you're probably talking desperate.
Ooh.
Yes.
Yeah, you get experience.
Yeah, is the effect standard or?
I think standard.
Okay. And then I will go ahead and expend a bonus, a couple stress to get a bonus die. Here we go.
Okay.
That's a 6.
Like a 6. So they're clearly concerned more, like they're looking around for the person who was just here. But you also have the sense like they know that there's some hanky, weird shit here. They know they work for a mage. They know they work for a guy who's creepy as hell. So despite them wanting to pull this and find this other person, they do kind of carefully move you off because they don't want to draw attention. And that definitely gives you guys an opening. Does that seem fair?
That seems fair to me.
Okay. So while that is going on, let's cut back to Esta and Farouk.
Okay.
I will pop the door open with my fine wrecking tools.
Okay.
Like I did the last time.
Okay. So we want to do this without, you want to get in without making noise, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you think you want to, is this wreck to do this?
It's wrecking tools, but I could also use Tinker and it's the same score, so either way works.
Yeah, if you used, actually, I think the way to get around the demon is to not use the doors or the windows, but to essentially, go through a wall.
Okay, I can do that. I can use wreck for wrecking a wall.
Okay, so
I am going to expend my special armor because I am. Oh wait, because I can push because I have driven. And I can push myself when wreaking havoc and destruction. I guess this is destruction because I'm literally blowing up a wall.
Okay, but you want to do it quietly, right?
I want to hit my XP mark, so I'm not part. And we've already been spotted, kind of.
Well, except that Irfan's are drawing that attention off. So you guys.
Oh,
have
okay.
it.
Then I won't. Then I will just push myself normally then.
Okay.
And
Yeah, I just want to make sure you're clear on what the sitch is.
Concentration.
I think that Irfan has eaten what would have been desperate. So I think we're going risky and standard.
Okay, and bonus die 1 because I am pushing myself. That is a 6.
That is a 6. So yeah, you can pry open this section of the wall. You've got the tools. You've spotted the weakness, and you two can get inside. What is it that you want to get from here? I guess that's a question now for Esta.
That's an interesting question. So, of course, we want the items that belong to my friend, and I assume that if there's a warehouse, there's probably decent records to find what they are.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that I also want all the records of what's in here. Does that make any sense?
Okay. So we got 2 tasks here.
Okay.
Right?
Oh, sure.
And you want to do this, and you want to do this fairly quickly to get the goods, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think this would be a study.
Okay.
Desperate.
Oh, no.
Standard effect.
I will help.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
And we would cut to the shots of outside of Irfan kind of talking and playing the local are you playing a buffoon or how once they pull you out, how are you drawing them?
I'm trying to play old, dropping the voice a little bit lower register, causing it to break a little bit, little addled. I'm stuffing. Do we use paper? I can't remember. Is it coinage or paper money or?
Sure.
Like very thankful. Oh yes. Here, my friend. Here, so thankful for such a helpful young man.
So yeah, you're talking to them, playing that, and where are you when that's going on, Taji? Have you moved back to watch the others, or are you keeping watch on Irfan?
If possible, I would like to keep watching on Irfan and have a sight on the place they bust through, if possible.
I think you got to pick one or the other.
There are 2 inside. I will stay with. I'll stay here outside.
Okay. So here is the thing. It's a desperate action, and we got a
5.
What, a 5? Mm-hmm. All right. So I think that you can get. I think here you can get either the records or your friend's stuff. I think that's a consequence of a reduced effect, but also you do draw attention.
Wow. Okay.
Do you want to resist one of those?
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty nasty. Let's see here. I think at this point I would probably, I will attempt to resist the one or the other on the records and
okay,
things, because otherwise there's nothing much won here.
All right, I think that sounds fair. Let's go ahead and have you make that roll, Esta. I think that's probably going to be resolve.
Resolve? Okay.
Oh, no, sorry, insight.
Doesn't matter. They're both the same.
Okay.
Okay, let's see if I go trauma or not. Those dice. Nope. Whew.
Oh my.
Squeak,
oh
squeak,
my.
Squeak. Super squeak.
How much?
So,
How much do you have left? Oh, 1. Okay. Okay.
So let me cut back to this because you are there, Farouk. You're kind of watching as she's getting the papers, and you will hear some people coming, and they come fast, and you'll see a couple of guards and this wiry, thin a guy with this sort of this greasy beard. I mean, you can actually see like he's literally got something caught in it from his supper there.
Ew.
And
I'm gonna use a smoke bomb.
Okay.
I'm gonna use.
So you want to try and use a smoke bomb and use it to create a distraction so you can get out of there?
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you think that roll is?
I'm not sure because
Tinker, and
Tinker
the
could
smoke
work.
bomb gets you a +1 for doing what you want. Or-
Yay! I have to ring Tinker. Okay, is this desperate? Please tell me it's desperate so I can get XP.
Sure. Yeah, we can have it be desperate. That sounds good.
Wait, was it going to be desperate though?
Because there's an infernalist and his 2 guards there.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
The effect.
I think the effect, your smoke bomb's going to make it standard effect to get you guys out of there. Does that seem fair?
Okay. Do I get bonus die?
I don't think so. I think the smoke bomb is what's going to allow you to potentially get away from all of these guys.
All right, cool. I will submit. That is a 3. That is no gusta.
Okay. So you will throw that down, and I think the smoke bomb will go off, and it hits, and but these guys are kind of up on you, and it also makes a lot of noise. So you get 2 consequences. One is them kind of coming to grab you. Other one is the amount of noise that this is generating.
I don't want to risk more trauma, so I will allow both.
Okay, so
Wait,
these
before then, is grabbing both of us or just grabbing me?
grabbing you.
Oh, grabbing me specifically.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So he goes, get them! And the 2 guys rush forward and grab you. You can see also that when he does his sort of sinister talk, that he's still got food in his mouth. So that's part of the problem. And these 2 grab you, bring you to the floor. Let's cut to the 2 of you outside. You're hovering, watching Irfan try to, conning these 2 guys. And then there's a screech, like a fireworks screech from inside the building, and a shriek. And these 2 guys look at each other, and it looks like they are going to rush in to back up. They're going to run. And,
my heart!
So you would like to attempt to
I clutch my chest, make a rictus face.
I think that this is sway.
Dude, if you want to disallow the roll, that's totally cool.
No, here's what it is. It's sway, desperate, limited effect.
Nice. Guess what? I'm not going to take stress for this. So here we go. Oh, that's not good.
Well, 4 is better than 3.
That is, yeah. So let me think how this would roll out there. I think that what happens is you keep one of them occupied because he goes, this guy's got to be in on it, and grabs you. Okay? While the other one goes booking inside. Does that seem like fair?
Oh, totally. Yeah, of course I'm in on it. So he's very astute.
Yeah. Let's cut to Taji.
Yeah, when I see the other one running for the door, I will get out of my hiding place and charge him with my weapon, with my
Okay.
open drum.
So you want to try and take care of these guys?
Yep.
Okay. So it's risky if you want to try and take one of them. I'd say it's desperate if you want to try and take both.
I'm going to go for desperate.
Oh, yes. I mean, go ahead. So standard effect, desperate.
Skirmish. Desperate. 5 and 4.
5 and 4. So I think you're going to do it, but I think essentially describe to me how you take the guy who's running down.
I jump out my. I think that he run just right before me, so I jump out of my hiding place and stop him with my blade.
Okay, he goes down, and then you move to the other guy who's on Irfan, and you close in fast. But this guy does get his blade out, and he is going to deal a wound to you.
All right.
You may resist that if you want, or take the wound,
or use armor.
Yeah, I'll use armor.
Damn armor! God, fucking stupid armor. All right. So yeah, you take this other guy down, and he tries to drive that blade into you, but you get past him and drop him. And Irfan, both these guys are out.
Perfect.
And
you're
Taj
right.
got his blade up. I'm going to cut from that though, because there's a smoking building, a couple of people inside, a sorcerer, and some more guards. So, holy shit, Esta!
Oh. Yeah.
You got all of Bilal's records, but he's right there.
Yeah.
Interrupted in the middle of dinner.
I know. It's the only good part about this situation. Gosh, can I make him choke on his dinner?
How would you do that?
I don't know.
You could try to attune and try to use the forces of the demons around here to do that.
Yeah, well, they're his, and he's got them bound, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I'm sure they'd be happy to be free of him. Okay.
Do you have anything to assist you item wise?
Oh yeah.
Tell me about that.
I have arcane implements, and one of those things is essentially a what do you say? A ritual razor.
Mm-hmm.
You can drop it, and it will break a bond. Essentially for a split second. So
Okay.
if I can essentially do my attune and break that and do that, I may be able to set that daemon on him.
So let me say, I think this is going to be a desperate roll.
Yes, I agree with you.
I will say you can use those arcane implements to either get yourself an extra die,
Okay.
or move from limited to standard effect.
I'll try to go to standard effect.
Okay, then let's have you roll a tune.
Okay, I'm going to spend those. And come on, dices. And it's desperate.
Yes.
Okay. Standard. Bonus die, none. Oh, that does not work.
It doesn't.
It does not.
So, I think you go to grab at that demon,
Mhm.
and he spits out his food, and he grabs it, and he will go, like husband, like wife, and he throws the demon into you.
Oh, okay.
And you can feel it, and it's kind of it kind of gets into your lungs, and it kind of burns like smoke, like
Okay.
like you're breathing smoke right now.
All right.
So I think you're going to take a level of harm.
That seems reasonable.
Okay. So you've been kind of wrestled to the ground. Looks like Esta just got the worst of a sorcerer's duel. What do you want to do now?
So I'm at the ground, and I think Bilal isn't paying much attention to me. So I'll try to finesse myself a grenade towards him.
Okay. All right. I think again, desperate.
Boy.
Because the grenade is right there with you. You're trying to do this while you're being wrestled. Your position is not great. But if you can throw the grenade, it could be good. I'll say standard effect.
I will push myself with my special armor. Because yes, of course. And would that be I would say finesse. So desperate. Sure. I mean, it's either finesse or wreck, but I think finesse makes more sense because I'm being wrestled.
Yeah.
Okay. And standard effect, bonus die 1. That's a 5.
That's a 5. So I think that you are going to hit him and send him flying back. And essentially, you've cleared Esta from this. But let me think here. What do you think is a good fallout from this? What's a good consequence here?
I mean, depending on how close he is, I could take damage as well, but that would also cover the guard. So that would basically be a great effect, but I don't know about you.
Here's what I am going to say. I'm going to say, actually, that your grenade is going to blow you and these guards backwards and further away. So Esta can't see where you are. You're in a worse position. You are kind of thrown back. They've got you really pinned. You are kind of out of sight, so people can't see you. So your friends won't be able to spot you.
All right.
Let's cut to Irfan.
We need to get in there. I heard things blowing up, and you know what that means.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it means Farouk thinks she's helping.
All right.
Or sorry, he's helping. Sorry.
Yes. So you can get inside. I don't think there's a roll necessary. There's a warehouse. You won't see Farouk anywhere, but you will see Esta writhing, and there's like a nimbus of fire around her, and there's this greasy, long-bearded Rasputin character who's leaning against one of these set of shelves, and his beard is on fire, and he's trying to put that out right now. What do you want to do?
Is there any water around? Oh yes, I think you, Janissary, you should help. You're better at this stuff.
All right, let's start with you, Taji.
So she, you said she's on fire, or she just have like a fairy aura around her?
Like a fiery aura around her.
Is this something I could chase it down like it was a ghost or something like that?
Oh, you could try. Do you have anything that affects the spirits?
Electroplasmic ammunition, so I can shoot the aura around her.
Okay, to disrupt the demon. All right, yep. I like it. Tell me, what does electroplasmic ammunition look like?
And
are you firing a gun, or is it an arrow? What is it? Crossbow?
It's going to be a gun.
Okay,
a pistol.
Got gun. Okay, and the ammo looks like
little metal pellets that, like basically a scary shot, but they're like waves of electricity be around each pellets. So it's like a big cloud of electricity.
Okay. So Irfan, you'll see Taji pull out a big pistol, clamp something in it, and fires it at Esta. So what do you think the roll is for that, Taji? Finesse?
Finesse should be good.
Yep. Make that shot right.
Just to be sure, I'll use my special armor security. I can use it to push it when guarding a teammate.
Nice. Okay. Standard and risky.
And 1 bonus dice. 1, 2, 2.
So I think the problem with this is that these electroplasmic shots are really unstable, right? And when you slam it in there and hit it and the pin goes off, I think that gun is actually crackles with electricity and is going to deal you a wound, essentially as it burns your hand.
All right, I'll take that.
Okay.
No, I'll take that. I'll take the one.
Okay. All right. Let's come to you now, Irfan. Oh, this situation does not look good.
I would agree. So I've just watched my boss get shot. I don't know where Farouk is gone. There's this burning beard guy. Does he look like a boss of some kind?
Well, I mean, not a very good boss because he's got like food and he looks like he's got like some sort of sauce around his mouth where he was eating, and he's still got stuff like he hasn't washed his hands, like maybe he was eating some baklava and stuff, and but he does have that air of a creepy sorcerer type.
Nice. I think I'm gonna roll up on him. I've got a blade or two.
Okay.
And my plan is to just seem intimidating and imposing and try to I don't know, try to make him think that I'm really tough and he should give up.
So tell me how it's your sway and not like a command roll. How is it? What is the manner in which you're doing this?
Oh, I say, oh, my friend, I see. You may have defeated my friend Esther, but I am a far greater sorcerer than you.
And you have the blade, which I think will allow you to have effect here. Let's have you roll. Risky, standard.
Okay. Two fives.
You will get the blade up to his throat, and I think that let me think here how I want to do this. I think that you've got him held there, but he's not calling his guards off or anything. So he's clearly kind of, you've got him held. He's stopping. He's not doing anything further. He is sort of at your control right now. Does that seem fair?
Sure. Yeah.
Like you have control of him, but the guards are still beating up Farouk.
I didn't even see that.
Yes, and his beard is burning, so it's kind of going up, and there's that smell of burnt hair that's coming from this guy.
That's lovely.
Okay. I hate to break a scene like this, but I think we need to take our 5-minute break, and then we will continue on and see what happens with the rest of this scene. Okay.
Yeah, that's a good break for me.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I want to swing back in with Belial looking at you, Irfan, and he's like, fair enough. Where do we go from? What? Oh, God, it's stuck in my teeth. Where do we go from here?
Release my friend, or I release you from this life. Start to press the dagger to the side of his neck.
And he will do this with his hand, and you will see something come, pulling out. That flame will pull out from her body into his hand. And you can see he's got this demon with him. We'll come back to you in just a second. What do you want to do? Your hand is burning like hell, Taji. You're muted.
Yeah. I just have to find another way to help Esta.
Yeah, Esta's kind of staggering now. The fire is gone.
Oh, okay.
But you don't see Farouk anywhere.
Then I will start searching for him.
Okay. Let me see what Farouk's doing, and then let me come back to you. Does that seem fair? Okay. Farouk, these guys have dragged you off into a corner. They're trying to silence you and maybe knock you out. So tell me, you've grenaded their boss. You've sent. You're over here. You know that something else is going on, but you're kind of isolated right now. What do you want to
do? I want to throw some eye blind at them.
Oh, okay.
Eye blind poison. I get 3 uses of that from my bandolier.
Awesome.
So
you want to essentially blind them so that they don't have control of the situation on you right now.
Correct.
Okay. I think this is desperate.
All right.
I think standard effect, the potential consequence is blinding yourself.
All right, I'm going to wreck, I think. Does that sound fair?
That sounds fair.
All right. Because it is using my... Okay, desperate, standard, bonus dice. I cry, but I'm not going to use bonus dice. That's a 5.
I'm going to say you will get these guys to roll back screaming, but you're going to get blinded by it as well.
That's fair.
Okay. So just put that as a level 1 harm called blind. And that,
there's also the drawback sickened, if you prefer that one, but I can take blinded.
Yeah, well, essentially, we'll just it's one of the standard things. It's not so they have to heal with a medical action, that it'll heal with some time afterwards. But now you're blinded. So Taji, you come running through here. You see a couple of guards grabbing their eyes, and Farouk's trying to get to his feet, and you can see there's what is it? What is a visible manifestation of that blindness, Farouk? What does it look like?
It's very red, and it's like you start crying from it because it is an alchemical poison. It's not arcane.
Yeah. So there's red around her. The whites of her eyes are almost pure red, and there's his eyes, and there's tears streaming down his face. What do you want to do, Taji?
All right. I assume that I know that Farouk can do is used to use such poison.
Yeah.
All right. First, I'll kick away the few remaining guards if there's any in the way, and I'll go to Farouk and say, "I got you," and try to help you to get up on your feet and guide you to the exit.
Okay.
All right, that's fine.
So I would say it doesn't necessarily. We don't need a roll. You can move him out to safety. Let's come back to you, Esta. You were choking to death there just a second ago, and then suddenly it stops. And you will see Irfan with a knife to Bilal's throat, and Irfan has a hold of it, that demon.
Okay, so tell me.
Wait, Irfan or Bilal has the demon?
Sorry, Bilal has the demon. Sorry.
Tell me what my options are. I mean, I have this. I guess my thing is, I want Bilal dead. Does that make any sense? So
here's your choice. Here's your difficult choice. You could probably walk out of here without pushing any further. Bilal's in a bad position, but he's got that demon. But you could probably just walk out of here without causing more trouble. But if you want to engage him, he's got those arcane forces at his hands, so it's a risky situation, and you have to give Irfan a sense of what's going on.
I just.
Lady Sharifi.
See, I think you need to be silent right now.
Rude.
Oh. Foul, bespattered man. I guess that demon, we've messed around with it enough. It was the thing. What do I know about it?
It's a fire demon. He's got a hold of it. He's got pretty strong control of it right now. You suspect that if you kill him, he's going to let this thing loose. And you might be able to handle it, but your compatriots might not.
Right.
I'm gonna telegraph this right now. There's a move there's some special ability that I'm close to leveling a playbook advancement, and the special ability I'm eyeing is Pyromancer. So it might be a good segue into that, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
If you survive it.
If I survive it, yes.
Let's see here.
You're fine.
Yes.
You see Esta stands there. She's hesitating. You can, at the corner of your eye, you'll see Taji hauling a wounded and blinded Farouk out of here.
We should go. Yes, friend. We will leave and forget this even happened. Give me your word. There will be no further recompense. Huh?
No, you have to drop on me, good sir. I fully accept that. And I will give you my word that if you leave me live, you and your friends may walk out of here with no further threat from myself or my staff.
I look over at Esta, check in with her.
Yeah, we're just so messed up. She's like, we'll move on.
Okay. You need to convince me just a little more. If those guards move out of the way, we need to exit. And as you can see, we are a bit worse for wear. Send them away.
And he will. There are people saying, and he will speak very loudly and say, "Everyone, stand down, stand down. These nice people are going to be leaving now."
What do they do?
They're clutching their eyes right now. and kind of standing up. And the two dead guys outside don't say anything.
Okay, well, that's good. I'm going to look at Esta, and if she even gives the slightest, yeah, I want him dead, Irfan will do it. Irfan will do it.
I think there's this moment after we get Farouk and Taji out of the building as she's passing you by that she gives you the nod.
Oh, okay. I think that's actually going to be a roll because he has a demon in hand.
Yep.
So Farouk and Taji are out. Irfan, does that seem like finesse?
Sure. I'll take finesse.
Okay. So here is the deal. This is a desperate roll because there's some serious consequences if you don't take him out quickly.
Okay. I'm most definitely adding stress. Is this standard or limited effect?
Let's say standard.
Okay.
Because we already got the knife at his throat, so I think you positioned yourself to have standard effect.
So, is there anything more I can do besides just 2 stress for a bonus die?
Let's see. Assistance is the other way that you can do it. If someone helps you, how would someone assist?
I don't know. I mean, I'm getting permission from Esta, kind of getting the nod.
I will assist. I will assist by essentially wrestling for control of the demon at that moment.
Oh, that's perfect.
That's going to cost you 2 stress, sweetie.
Will it?
Yep.
Don't take it if you're gonna.
Okay.
Well, if you take 1, you are still going to take trauma. So, like,
Don't
even if
take
it was
trauma.
1.
Don't do it.
Seems to me the other person who still has a possibility of assisting is Taji.
Ooh, Taji, my man, help me murder somebody. That's what we do. But Esta doesn't like him. Come on.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what I can do from. I'm a bit far away.
Yeah, fair.
You're distracting, though. You're a big guy with a mask coming out of the smoke.
Yeah.
Do you have any other ranged things, or?
You can do.
Well, let's let Taji look at his sheet here first.
Yeah. Well, I'm all out of space on my load. I could throw my pistol.
That seems that I like that. You just want to wing it his direction.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you want to do that, spend the stress.
Done.
Okay. So 2 stress, and you've got your knife to this guy's throat. Esta moves by, gives you the thing. Taji sees it and whips this gun at this guy's direction.
By the way, it's just 1 stress if you're helping out. It's 2 if you're pushing yourself.
That's right. Thank you. Thank you very much.
But Esta would still go to trauma.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so that means I have a total of 2 bonus dice. Yes.
No, you have 1 bonus die from him.
No, 2 because he pushed.
But I spent my own stress, right? I'm doing both.
Thank you.
Okay, cool. Just make it. Okay. Here we go. I'm about to click the submit button.
Oh gosh.
2, 4, and 4.
All right. So I think what happens is you get that knife and you do cut his throat, but he like puts his hand in your face and that demon kind of rushes out past you. And I think that's going to be 2 effects. One of them is going to be essentially burning your tongue and muting you for a while. And the other one is a level 1 wounded. You can resist one of those effects.
I would like to keep my tongue, thank you.
Okay. Then roll And I think that the appropriate one for that is probably going to be resolve.
Okay. No bonus dice?
Nope,
Right.
just roll 2
Okay.
dice and we'll see how much stress.
Got
So
a
you just take
5.
1 stress to do that.
Oh, nice. Okay, that's great because I didn't have much left. How do I mark harm in the thing? Do I just write in that I was burned? Or
Yep.
Actually, I want to know if I can try to resist for him for this one. Maybe right after I threw the gun, I run toward him, and when I see the demon getting to him, I just pull him down.
Yeah. So that you want to resist the other consequence then to keep him from getting the wound. That'll be a resolve roll.
Resolve. For 2 stress.
2 stress. So he goes to do that, Irfan. You slice it, and you see that demon coming at you, and then you're tackled by Taji. And it flies past. And this guy crumples to the floor, bleeding out. Your face hits the floor right next to his face. He's kind of looking at you, straight eye contact, as blood kind of beats out a few times there. And then you'll see like a little like dollop of whatever he had in his mouth kind of drools out there, and he is dead.
that was the thing that was stuck in his teeth? Is that
Exactly. He finally got it out.
Nice.
Well, you've still got a couple blinded guards in here, so you guys probably need to get the F out.
No, this is our place.
Huh.
Do you want to talk to guards?
Yeah. There's going to be a long moment where Irfan is completely freaked out by watching a guy die in front of him, but yeah, that's the next plan.
Okay.
Okay, you've got a new boss. We're your boss now. Okay, friends? You want to keep getting paid?
I don't think we need a roll for that. Their boss is dead on the floor. They don't dig him. They're blinded. Then one of them goes, "If you okay, but you got to get something for our eyes."
Of course, we treat our employees well. Except for those 2 dead guys. Those.
Oh, these guys are assholes. It's okay. We hated them. Really, we did. I swear.
All right, number 1 on order of business, eye wash station.
Sadness for a moment, so it will go away.
Okay. So yeah, you can wash their eyes down. You guys made a lot of noise here. So you'll probably have to spend some time cleaning this up.
Yeah, putting the bricks back in the wall.
Okay. Taji, you, Farouk, which of you are the disposal people, or is that? Do you call in your Rakshasa to take care of that?
The Rakshasa, death.
Okay. He arrives with a cart
And the dog.
and the dog, loads
Big
it up.
dog.
We'll go and roll it over to his gravedigger friend to take care of that. I think we cut forward to the next day.
Wait. We just claimed some people, a warehouse and some thugs. Does this count as gaining turf?
And that wasn't your intention for the thing, but we can certainly rationalize that.
It was
We just gained an entire warehouse, so I think so.
Well, if that's what you want to, how do you want to frame this? I am fine with that.
With it not actually working out. I mean, it's either way. Whatever you think makes
Either way, yeah.
most sense for the fiction.
Well, let's do this. You guys are beat up. There's a smell of smoke around here. That even though that fire smoke demon is gone, this place like continues to smell like smoke. So what happens when your, how do I put this? Let me get his thing here. What happens when your target shows up at the warehouse?
Cardew?
Yeah.
We merely tell him that, what's his name? Bilal? Bilal? Yeah, had to leave suddenly, and he transferred, he agreed to transfer the assets of the warehouse to us, and we would be happy to look through the records. And then we'll say, though there were some inspectors here, some people from whatever the guard thing were, and they were taking away some boxes, and we'll show them a list of what they had signed out for.
And what does that list look like?
Oh, it looks like all the things from the latest dig. I said they were apparently asking a lot of questions, and Bilal was very keen to get out of town.
He'll look around. He sees probably the evidence of a fight, the mopped up smears of blood. Notices the two guards with swollen eyes. Looks at Taji but doesn't recognize Taji because Taji had his mask on, and he's like, "So, will you be offering the same services as Belial?"
Certainly.
Better. We're much more pleasant.
You have less of the air of the outer depths, so yes, that's appreciated. You understand the nature of our relationship, our business?
If you would like to clarify, we're all ears.
Belial arranged for resale of some of the items that I brought to him, and he provided protection services for goods.
All right.
You can do that?
I'll look at Irfan just to get his take on it.
Of course. Not a problem.
All right. I like taking a gamble. I like taking a risk. I can deal with this. And he looks at the list and he goes, "And did you say anything to the guards about these items?"
And she sort of stops and says, "No, I had the understanding that one of the academics had extremely fine records of what had gone missing and also had some tracking on it, which seemed to be what had caused the stir up. So if you were to deal with that person again, you may not want to mess with their things."
Say no more. All right. And he'll hold out his hand to shake on it.
All right. And I will let Irfan do the handshaking.
I will do that as my boss has ordered.
So that does sound like, if you guys want, we can put this as turf.
Yay!
Do we want to put it the one between the vice den and the cover op?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll mark that as that.
And we get a point of turf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll get that. That's pretty cool. So we should move to downtime. Recovery from stress. And experience, if you guys don't mind.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let me look at my little thing here. Get my little
Versus
notes.
rep, I think.
Let me get the stuff for the payout and everything. So 6 coin. It's a standard job. And I don't think this is loud and chaotic necessarily.
Kind of.
Not that much.
Yeah.
It was contained inside the building.
Yeah. I think that's fair. So we're going to say 2 heat from that. And you're going to get 2 rep from the job itself, plus the turf. Does that seem fair?
Mm-hmm.
Who wants to get the 2 extra coin this time?
Should we? God, we don't have a vault, do we? This
We
is
don't yet.
problematic.
We can get it as our next advance once we level up the crew.
Yeah, I think we need to look towards doing that.
Wait, what was the split of the 6? I'm sorry.
It's 2 people get 2 coin instead of 4.
I think Esther
Instead
should
of
get
1,
extra,
sorry.
maybe. Yeah, and
Wait, who?
Esta? Yeah, maybe her
Yeah,
sorcery.
Sure. I'll take an extra 1. I'll invest it later on in something good. So, is Taji going to be with us again?
I am not sure. I will be. I won't be available on Wednesday next month.
Okay. Well, but you're on some of the wait lists for later on, right? We're playing this for the next couple of months, so there's
Yep.
always a possibility.
I am attending 1 session out of others. So.
Aw.
Okay. So,
And I'm
it's
waitlisted.
wait.
I mean, I can take the extra coin so we can finish the weapon and
Okay.
yeah.
Then let's walk through the downtime, and then I'll talk about the entanglements and the effect from that here. So, Sherry,
Yes.
what would you like for your downtime activities?
Oh, for God's sake, I need to get out there and indulge.
Okay.
Bruh.
And let's have you roll your indulge vice.
Okay. Let's see. Is there a thing? Yes, there is.
Yes,
Awesome.
there is.
Okay. And I don't get any bonus dice because there's no such thing. So why do they even ask you? 1! Holy smokes.
You can indulge vice again, I guess.
Yeah.
Aw.
God.
That's like
That is
sad trombone
unkind.
times 10. All
That's
right.
that's worse than my first session, except
Yeah.
yeah.
I didn't actually go into death's door, but yeah.
Yeah, true.
What would you like to do with your second downtime action?
I think I'd like to try to indulge it for again. I think like
Okay.
Jeez. Right.
Again.
Oh, this is bad luck.
Wow. Okay.
Would you like to use your extra coin to take an additional downtime action?
God.
Yeah, I don't know when I'm going to heal, but sure. Okay.
Take more vice. You spend all your earnings and your time just looking at paintings because you need it.
Yeah, I will spend a coin. Yikes.
Okay.
You guys, I'm so sorry.
I am sorry. Jesus.
4. Okay.
Okay, that's better.
All right. Are you going to spend another coin to do the healing?
Yes.
Okay. Coin level NPC. So roll me a d6. Unless you have a physicker. Does anyone have a physicker as an ability? Okay.
No.
So it'll just be like a quality 1 NPC.
Just one heart.
Well,
One
so-
on the clock.
You will heal 1 on your healing clock there, Sherry.
Wow.
Wow, Sherry has inherited my luck.
Yeah, thanks, Maria, as your party gift.
This is my parting gift, yes.
Maria, what is it you want to do with downtime?
Clear my stress. So
Okay.
I'm an indulge vice. I actually get 2 dice. Yay, I overindulge again.
Well, that explains why you're gone for a while, right?
Yeah.
As you vanish out into your weird kinky sex stuff.
Can I at least finish my other downtime actions?
Absolutely, I will let you do that. That sounds
Okay.
good.
I want to work on my project, which
Okay.
is with Tinker.
All right. Roll it.
That's a 6.
That's a
So
6.
how many dashes do I get with 6?
3.
I will spend the coin to finish it.
Okay.
And I want to also reduce heat.
Okay. Spend a
So
coin.
spend a coin to reduce heat.
And tell me how you're doing that.
I think by wrecking the evidence.
Okay.
I don't know how that would work, but like maybe like sabotaging the evidence or something.
That sounds to me like you're being more involved hands-on in the disposal of the bodies,
Yeah, that makes sense.
which is horrible, but sounds good. So go ahead and roll wreck.
I will roll the wreck. That's a 5.
It's a 5. So you're going to reduce the crew's heat by 2.
All right, and I will spend my last coin to training prowess and get 2 points there.
Nice.
And that's it. That's
Okay.
why Farouk fucks
Go
off
on.
for a while.
Gets caught in some sex dungeon and is trapped there. Adventurers have to come down and rescue you, that kind of thing.
Pretty much.
Okay. Irfan.
Yeah, some downtime stuff. Of course, I want to indulge my vice. Real quick question. Do we have an advance in our crew that allows us to double when we train? I was just looking
Yes.
at it.
Just
For
prowess.
prowess.
Just prowess.
And by the way, we do have the -1 on heat. Do you take that into consideration? From
No, I don't.
from our crew.
Let me go look at the crew thing here.
Yeah.
Yeah, just passing through.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you guys are at 2 heat.
We gotta remember that when our heat is 4 or less, we get +1 die to deceive people. We pass ourselves off as ordinary citizens. We gotta keep that in mind.
Forgot about that. That's a good point.
Well, I mean, I could have used it earlier when I was.
Yeah, exactly. That would have been good for that whole sequence.
I mean, I enjoyed all the desperate action.
I like the heart attack bit there. That actually cracked me up.
Yay! I'm glad that paid off. Okay, sorry. Let me indulge my vices.
Okay.
And so I will do that thing. I've got this cool button. I'm not at all worried about overindulging because I have 6. And I spend coin after the fact if I don't do well, or is that how it goes with the vice?
Well, you don't spend coin. It's more like you spend coin if you want an extra downtime action.
Yeah.
Which would mean indulging your vice more. And you have 7, so even if with a 6, you have a bit of stress left over.
Okay. So that'll get you down to 5 stress.
Oh, that sucks.
Now you could take another downtime action to clear your stress. There is a chance that you could overindulge.
There is a chance I could overindulge. Let me try one other thing. So I'm down to 5 stress, and you can't actually click to make it go down, which is kind of sucks, but that's all right.
Yeah, you can. Oh, I just did it for you, but...
Get out of my character sheet, Maria. I appreciate it.
I am sorry.
It's mine, so don't touch it.
Okay.
I know you, and you mean well. Okay. No. Hold on. I don't know. We're doing okay on heat. Like 2 heat isn't that bad, right?
No, that's not bad at all.
It's actually pretty good.
Okay, cool. So that'll leave that be. I think I will indulge vice one more time.
Okay.
But before I do that, I'm going to mark an XP for an attribute on my playbook. So that means you can only train attributes.
You can train attributes or playbook.
Oh, cool.
Do 1 box in a playbook, 1 box in attributes, or 2 box in prowess.
You would have to spend coin if you want to indulge by some more in that case.
Yes.
Because...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm probably with my 3rd one going to indulge vice. I think I am going to go ahead and train on my resolve.
Okay. Put a mark there.
Okay.
And then spend a coin, and you can indulge again.
All right, I will spend a coin. I'm at 3, so I'll spend it down to 2. Come on. Whatever. I'll just mark it back up. All right, there we go. And indulging the vice. This one's, I think that our new turf. No, we got to illicit stuff. I don't want to have like an art show or anything like that.
No.
So I just, yeah.
You show your courtesan off probably, and
Yeah. That's it. Nusha and I hit the town. Here we go.
That's why it costs a coin.
3 away. That is good.
It's nice. That's a good number. Get you down there, okay?
So I'm down to 2 then, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Taji.
Yeah. I am going to indulge my vice.
Gambling, right?
Yep. I go at the dual circle and bet on fighters. So I clear 4.
Nice.
Yes.
And what would you like to do for your second downtime action?
I think I will train.
Okay. If you train in prowess, you can mark 2 boxes.
This is what I'm going to do.
That is smart. Let me do crew experience, and then we'll do regular experience. Sound good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Crew experience. So we're going to take a look at those things. I think you acquired a new contraband source.
Yes.
Definitely.
Stolen goods.
Stolen goods. I don't think this was above your station. It's a single guy.
This was a new reputation because it's not honorable to just kill 3 people.
It was an infernalist.
That's true.
But there's also like the 2 cards.
I'm going to say no on that, but I am going to say that you will definitely have expressed the inner conflict and essential nature of your crew.
Oh, definitely. Yes.
So I think you're going to take an advancement.
Put it into vaults, please, Jesus.
Okay. So you guys want a vault with one of the picks?
Yeah.
And what would you like for the other pick?
Oh, there's 2 picks for each advance, right? Oh,
yeah, if you don't take a special ability, you have 2 upgrades.
Oh, okay, cool.
So we've got some special abilities that are cool. We've got some crew upgrades. You could get some people. Get yourself some quarters.
We can't give people if we're gonna get the vault, because we need like 2 for that.
That's right. You need 2 to do a new cohort. So any special abilities look good to you?
Well, we could decorate the place up again. So if any of us need to crash there occasionally or all the time.
I'll mention renegades, which will give each PC +1 action rating to finesse, prowl, or skirmish.
What?
Oh, that would help.
But that would be, we don't have the vault, right?
Yeah, the vault. The first level of vault costs 1. The second level of vault costs the second 1.
No, but like, is it like a special ability or 2 upgrades, or just 2 upgrades?
It's
in general.
I've always done it as 2 picks. So a special ability is 1 pick, or the other things are 1 box.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's like Christmas.
So
I think Renegades is interesting, especially since we're not great at those.
Okay.
Yeah, I can add to my finesse plus.
Okay. Finesse, prowl, or skirmish up to a max rating of 3.
So wait, what does that let us do?
You can choose either finesse, prowl, or skirmish and add a box.
Ooh. I could become a decent skirmisher or get a little bit of prowl on.
I'm gonna up my finesse instead of going into either of the others.
I'm gonna up my skirmish to 3.
Oh, nice.
Oof.
Super dangerous.
Since we have a skirmisher now, I'll go with a little bit of prowl just so I'm not such a liability.
Yeah, I'm torn between prowl or skirmish because I have nothing in either.
And that's your lowest thing? Is that your lowest attribute? Like from inside prowess and
Prowess is yes.
Okay,
Well,
then
prowess
put one
and
in.
insight are both a 1, right? Yeah.
Yeah, if you have at least a 1 in either, then you get prowess 2, which improves your vice rolls. Because you would have to in like every of your insight.
That's
Which
nice.
is why I overindulged because it's like I had to in everything, so I get a better roll.
Well, let me let you think about that. Sherry, did you hit your playbook specific XP trigger?
Let's see. I hit so many triggers. I was like the trigger queen. Wait, I don't know if we're talking about the same thing. I addressed a challenge with planning or teamwork. Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once
Okay.
at least.
I had the semblance of shadow that I had been working on, and we assisted each other, Maria and I, when we were in there getting blasted. Farouk and I were buddies in defeat. So,
Okay.
Yay.
So 2 XP from that. I
Oh,
think that happened a
awesome.
lot. I think we definitely got some of your background there with the relationship with your dead husband. So I'll give you a point for that.
Okay.
I don't think you struggled with issues from your vice or traumas.
Well, you struggled getting those cleared. That's definitely
Yes, I'm with you on that.
So that's 3 XP that you can mark on whatever track you'd like.
Okay, I did that.
Maria, I think we know that your playbook XP trigger, you're going to get 2 points from that.
Boy. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Did you express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background?
I help by doing the academic stuff, but that's so I guess yes.
I'll give you that. I'll give you a point for that.
Yeah.
I don't think your paranoia came up.
But I did get fucked off, I guess, by getting lost and never appearing again until 1 session. If you want to count that or not.
Yes. Indulging does give you an XP. So
Yay, I get to advance prowess and my playbook. Yay.
Nice. All right, Rich. Tell me about your playbook specific XP trigger.
You address a challenge with subterfuge or influence.
Oh yeah, 2 points on that.
Okay, cool.
Oh, yeah.
I will mark an XP in my playbook. You expressed your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background. I mean the trade thing of like, nope, this warehouse is ours. Maybe, I don't know.
Well, that's certainly your beliefs. I think you demonstrated your loyalty to Esta. I think that was a really interesting set of moves there. So I'll give you a point for that.
Cool. And then struggle with issues from your vice or traumas during the session. No, I don't think
so. That's just the 3 points then.
I've gotten a playbook advancement then.
Ooh, I can't wait to know what you're going to pick.
Me too.
And let's go to Taji.
Yeah.
Playbook specific XP trigger.
It's address a challenge with courage or attention to detail.
Courage, definitely.
Definitely.
A couple of times there. You took on 2 people desperately, and you rushed over to find. So I'll give you 2 points on that.
I'd say also with the gambling, he'd use the attention to detail, getting in there, using his finesse to get that point. So,
nice point. Did you express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background?
Nope.
Do you want to tell us something? Because you're welcome. One of the things you can do in this section is if you tell us something about it, you can get the XP for it.
I didn't know that. I'll decline. Just don't know what to say.
Okay. Yeah. But that is one of the things. Feel free to tell the group about it when you mark XP.
All right.
So that's one of the things you can always do is get that XP by telling us something there.
That's a nice touch.
Actually, no. I'm going to give you a point because of that whole thing with your mask.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
I thought that was a really nice set of details there.
So not eating the good food gave me an XP.
Oh yeah, well, and the whole thing about the sleeping and not wearing it and all of that was really good.
All right.
Okay. Do you guys mind if we take a quick chance to do roses and thorns? Here, do you mind?
I don't mind.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's do thorns first. And let's. I'm going to stick with the order I've been doing here. Sherry, let's start with you.
All right. My dice were the worst. They were the worst. They get all the thorns. What the heck? I was like Maria from the first session. No one wants to be Maria from the first session.
Yeah, for Simon's sake, I got traumatized in the first session.
Exactly. It was just, anyway, I suppose that's part of the joy of gaming, isn't it? Just watching it all fall apart. But it didn't feel joyful in the moment. I don't know. Let's see here. Otherwise, I kind of tend to like this game, so I don't have much else to add.
Okay. Maria, thorns?
I don't get to play more.
You'll be back, and you're on the wait list too, so that's always good.
I'm on the but then again, even if I do the waitlist somehow miraculously clears by next session, I'm still gonna be gone because my character is lost now.
True. Well, we'll get you back.
Yeah, but my only thorn is really like that.
Okay. Rich, I'll come back to you. We had some issues in the early on, and so let's come back now. What are your thorns here?
So, spoilers. It's a lot. It's gotten a lot easier to navigate the system than it was originally. I still feel like there's not. It really is about doing jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Like everything centers around a job. I've got Nusha, who I've done downtime scenes with 3 games in a row, and she's never spoken aloud. Like it's just not part of the game. You don't do role play there, which is a bummer. Right. It's there's a stance in Blades in the Dark that I'm adjusting to it.
Right.
I accept that that's how it is, and it is not a let's talk for a little while. It's like we are only talking while doing things, and the things we're doing are these jobs, and the jobs are what we do, and it's all about the jobs. And then when we're out of the jobs, we're just doing stuff to resupply for the next job, and that's an interesting cycle.
One of the things is that for me a limitation, and this happened when I've run it face to face, is the GM has to make that space, because when we played it face to face, we've done whole sessions where there is no job, where it's just meeting people and figuring things out and getting involved in things and stuff. But in these early sessions, it's harder, and I think the tightness of the session does restrict on that. I think you're absolutely right.
And also, I don't know if it's super fair to someone who only gets one session in. Like, what if Darren has shown up and like we're all kind of BSing with NPCs, So I get it, right? Somebody shows up, you need to give them the Blaze in the Dark experience.
Mm-hmm.
But we're talking thorns, so like I find a lack.
Yeah, no, I think that is a fair cop. Anything else?
No.
Okay. Darren, you came in here for one session. You've played this before. I probably run it differently than others. Let's hear your thorns.
First, my first one will be to myself. I was really, really nervous for this whole game. I'm a big fan of the podcast of the Gauntlet, especially yours, Richard. So I was really I'm gaming with superstars. So I was really nerve-wracked.
We're not to roses yet, but
no.
Yeah, I mean, I know that feel, especially from Gauntlet, but that's a story from another day.
So I think I didn't do enough because of that. This is a pattern I've seen in my few Gauntlet games I have. In the first few games, I'm like really nervous. I don't really know what to say do, and the more we play, the more I open up. So since this was my first game with you guys, it was that, and I have absolutely no thorn for the game per se.
Okay. Let me say something to you. I am Simon. I am always nervous when I have people I haven't run for before. I will honestly tell you, when I know there's going to be a player I haven't run before, I am like this before the session. It always freaks me out. So I share your nerves. Let me be absolutely honest about that. Let me talk thorns. A couple of times I got jammed up on figuring out what the consequences were. I find that a real challenge as a GM to do it and make it roll into the fiction in an interesting way, because they do have the consequences kind of really mechanically laid out as, the 7 to 9 effects and things. I find those challenging. And I need to really think about that. I need to have that in mind when we're going into roll. I need to know in my head what the consequences are. And so that was a little bit of weakness on my part. It's something I'm still getting used to, even after having run this, a couple dozen times. So that needs work on my part. Sherry, roses. Muted.
So I always say this with Gauntlet games, and I'm pleased I continue to say this, but I super enjoy the players. The game was fun because all of you guys were awesome. And that is always my happiest rose here with the Gauntlet. The other thing is I kind of like the space there is for the rituals in this game. Where you kind of come up with an idea, and as long as it isn't ridiculous, it flies, and you have a cool little knack that you can do. So that's neat. So that's a cool little system. At least I looked at it. I tried to make sure that it fit the rules, that it had an oddness and a thing that was that marked it as strange, and that gave it a disadvantage. So hopefully it keeps on doing that.
Nice.
That's cool.
Maria, any roses?
I think, it's half rose to Rich because he managed to pick up the rules like easily after the first session where we had that. So it's less like but it feels like cheating because it's less about rules about gameplay and more about like how well you can grasp rules. But I like that. Or that was good. That it seems that Rich picked it up rather quickly after his thorn of not being able to understand what the hell is going on.
Thanks.
The other rose is jumping on what Rich said about the game. Like, yes, this is a game where not a lot of roleplay necessarily happens, but it knows what it's doing, and that I give a rose to the game itself.
Okay, I think that's a fair comp. Rich, roses.
Rose to Simon. I really appreciate how I felt like you know what the hell you're doing with Blades in the Dark, and I appreciate that. And you were like, "Yep, this is really risky, me helping these people, but I'm going to do it anyway." And that was super cool to see. And I needled you a bit about the mask, and you took it in good spirit, and that was great. I was a little nervous, like, "Oh, am I being a dick?" And you were super cool about it, so thank you. Sherry's always like, not the boss. That whole interplay just tickles me to no end. And Bree, you just always get in trouble. Like your character's just always getting messed up, and it's hilarious. You're just shoot. It was one of the Mad Max movies. The guy who was in the helicopter. Like, do you remember that guy? Like, he always just seemed like he was barely keeping it along. And I love that guy. It was one of my favorite characters, and that was Farouk. The past couple of times, it's like, yep, it's gonna go bad because I throw bombs, but hell yeah.
Awesome. Simon, any roses?
Yeah, I'm going to do a segue to my nervousness I had at the beginning. Roses to you, Lowell. The way you GM, I really liked it. You said you were nervous, but you were really zen. Really, you take things slowly. You take things like surely, and it really centered me somehow during the game. It's everything's just you're clear, meticulous. I really appreciated your game for that. It was really very fun. And roses to all the other players. I had a lot of fun playing with you guys.
My roses are going to be, when I do offer the consequences and you guys do the resists, there was some great fiction there in your resists. So I really dug that. I like the characters. I like the way they're evolving. And Simon, I love, I mean, coming into a crew is hard. And I thought you did a great job with that. I felt really good about it. And although maybe it's unfair to give a rose to my wife, I loved your hesitation that you just wanted that guy dead. And
I didn't want to hurt anyone in the group, but I wanted him dead so bad.
oh, it was delicious. So I appreciate you having that character, that rival on the table, and we were able to play with it. I love that scene. So good stuff for me. So awesome stuff. Thank you guys very much. I'm going to stop the broadcast.